good.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
What does Phoenix have that other malls don't? Would you rather negotiate a contract or litigate? Name one celebrity that you would love to welcome at the St. Regis Hotel and why.
Hi, good evening, everyone. This is Gautam. A very warm good evening to all of you, being a Friday. It's good to see you all back for the second round of a second town hall, which you're doing. The first one we did in December, our first ever, and this is the second edition we are doing. It's good to be back. We have the entire panelist here right now, our entire leadership team, including Atul as the owner and promoter of the company and chairman. I just want to make sure that I just want to reiterate the message that these town halls are meant for you. This is to bring leadership much closer to you. I think you as employees and champions, you're the biggest assets we have across the organization, and you must know what is happening across the company. We have five distinct business lines, which are all doing very well. We had a fairly fantastic last year. I think we'll talk a bit about financial highlights from last financial year. At the same time, we also invited you to ask us a lot of questions, and you have sent us a lot of questions. The last time we had about 100 odd questions. This time we got about close to 300 odd questions. So, and obviously we can't answer all, but what we've done is that we've got to weave in some of the responses into the decks itself. So I think some of the answers will come from deck as people presented. And secondly, some question towards the end we will try to answer to the best of our ability and knowledge. And some we will not be able to answer, but we'll try to answer that in some other ways sometime later in the sessions. Also, in the last 6 months, I think what has really gone well for us is that one, the company has been growing. We have added close to about 400 odd employees across the company. We have moved from about 2,000 odd employees when we met last in December. And now we're meeting in end of July. We are about 2,400 odd people. We have added about 400 people in Bellona. 12 outlets have opened in Bellona, which is a good growth story for us. And we've also been able to successfully close our performance appraisal this year on time, I think, as we had committed. So our performance appraisals for last year, we had close to 1,000 people who had to be appraised. And out of that, we were able to complete most of it by I think 80-90% of it last month. The balance is happening this month. And good story is also that we also believe that growing talent internally is the biggest strength. And if you look at a tenure across the company, at leadership level, we are almost like 7+ years of average tenure in the company. And we also believe that growing talent internally is the biggest strength. So in the last performance cycle, we had about 21% people who got promoted, which is like close to about 200 odd people who got promoted last year. We had about close to 100 internal transfers across different companies and locations, which is also a good story for us. That means there's something for everyone. So if we stick around, I think there's enough for everyone to do. Company is growing at a very rapid pace. We are hiring a lot of people. And we obviously want to invest in our own people through growing them, moving them internally, giving them opportunities, as well as also to develop and grow them. A lot of stuff is coming our way. And having said that, I would like to pass on the baton to Varun, who will just walk us through as to how we have done financially last year and how we're going from strength to strength. So over to you, Varun.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you, Gautam. A very warm welcome to Kailash and Mahesh as well, who join our leadership teams. And thank you for this opportunity to present the performance highlights for the year ended March 2024. Shifari, yeah, thank you for this. The year gone by was a landmark year for us where we achieved many highs. I'm going to touch upon some of them in my section, and then I will hand it over to Shishir and Atul to touch upon the balance. We opened 2 new retail destinations, one each in Pune and Bangalore, and we ramped up our trading occupancies and stabilized the newly launched malls at Indore and Ahmedabad. We also made significant strides in our office, residential, and hotel, hospitality, and F&B verticals, which we will cover in subsequent parts of today's town hall. Overall, at our group level, we have achieved a full year revenue of 3,978 crores. This is up 51% over FY23. Our revenue performance has also translated into strong operating performance. Our operating EBITDA was up 44% year on year to about 2,185 crores. And our profit after tax was in excess of 1,000 crores. We achieved a profit after tax of 1,152 crores, which was up 62% over the previous financial year. If we move to the next slide, I will talk about the performance across verticals and the contributors to our overall group performance. Retail business remained the biggest revenue and EBITDA contributor in FY24 and contributed about 68% to our group operating profits. During the year ended March 24, we also witnessed contribution from our residential business increasing significantly to 16% of group operating profit. This was driven by strong sales of completed residential units as well as receipt of occupation certificate for Tower 7 at One Bank Road West. Hospitality, which includes our hotels and our F&B business, contributed 9% to our operating profits, and commercial offices, which are growing at a rapid pace, contributed about 4% currently. Let's move on to the next slide so that I can touch upon each of these segments in a bit more detail. Starting off with our retail business, we currently have 11 million square feet of operational retail portfolio spread across 8 cities and 12 retail destinations. FY24, of course, has been a milestone year for this business. At the start of the year, we had set sights on stabilizing the 4 new malls and driving growth across existing assets. I'm pleased to report a very strong operating performance across all the centers. And a measurement of that performance are the retailer sales, or as we internally refer to, consumption at our malls. For the year ended March 24, we reported consumption of 11,344 crores, which is up over 2,400 crores compared to year ended March 23. Our financial performance kept pace with the success witnessed by our retailers. Our retail rental income was up 27% year on year, and our operating profits also were up about 25%, coming in at 1,673 crores for the year. We continue to expand our retail portfolio, and we have 2 new malls under active construction in Calcutta and Surat. We are also investing in revamping existing operational malls and also expanding several of our retail assets in multiple cities. Shishir and Atul will touch upon this in greater detail in the segments that follow. Moving on to the next slide, I will briefly touch upon our office portfolio. Currently, our office portfolio comprises of offices in Mumbai and Pune, which are operational, and under construction offices in Mumbai, Pune, Bank Road, and Chennai. At present, about 2 million square feet is operational. Out of this, we have achieved an overall occupancy of about 70% for the year ending March 24. This is up from about 63% in FY23. We have recently commissioned new offices in Pune, and as these offices stabilize, our occupancy should ramp up significantly going forward in the current financial year. Our total income from this vertical has crossed 190 crores, and our EBITDA came in at about 110 crores. And we do expect a significant improvement as we stabilize existing assets and we add the new assets, which are on the right-hand side of the screen. Moving on to the hospitality business. I will first start off with our marquee hotel property, the St. Regis Mumbai. Our performance in financial year 24 benefited from a strategy of maintaining a leadership position as far as room rates and occupancy trends were concerned. This helped us immensely, especially as travel for business improved substantially from both within India as well as foreign visitors coming into India. Further, the investment in creating and revamping existing F&B venues at the hotel and banqueting spaces yielded very good results for us last year. Thirdly, it helped that we focused on optimizing costs, which supported margins as revenues rose. Last year, the St. Regis Mumbai generated total income of over 490 crores with EBITDA of about 223 crores, representing an impressive margin of 46% and growth of 24% over prior year. This asset remains the most profitable business hotel in the country as of today. Moving on to our other hotel property in Agra, which is a 193 key property known as Courtyard by Marriott Agra. This asset has also clocked an impressive income of about 55 crores for year ended March 24. We have focused on improving the room rates as well as bringing in operational efficiencies, which has resulted in an EBITDA growth of 42% over prior year. While I've spoken about the operating assets, we also have a Grand Hyatt Hotel under development in Whitefield, Bangalore, on top of our operating Phoenix Market City in Whitefield. Moving on to our residential business. Our residential business achieved remarkable success in FY24. Through the year, we sold approximately 250,000 square feet of ready residential units. Strong demand and rapid conversion led to gross sales of over 560 crores and cash inflows totaling to over 640 crores. In fact, over the past 4 years, we have been able to sustain price hikes and improve sales velocity at the same time, which has helped improve overall profitability. In March 24, we also received the occupation certificate for the 7th tower at 1 Bangalore West, Bangalore. Currently in Bangalore, we have a ready inventory of only about 400,000 square feet and still some additional development potential, which we aim to develop in the coming years and leverage on the destination that we have created. Further, we are currently designing and obtaining approvals for an upcoming landmark residential project in the prime location of Alipur in Calcutta. And moving on to our latest asset class, which is the F&B business. This is the latest addition to our portfolio, where we have set up a dedicated team led by the charismatic Prashant Isar to grow this vertical. Today, we have touched an count of about 39 outlets with presence across 8 malls and over 10 different F&B experiences. Shifali, if we move to the next slide, please. Our offering in this vertical spans across cuisines, formats, and price points. We have expanded these offerings across our multiple locations and we are building high brand record and elevating the consumer experiences. Gross operating revenue from this business has crossed rupees 80 crores in FY24, and we expect substantial growth in FY25, especially as we ramp up and stabilize over 12 outlets that we launched towards the end of the financial year, March 24. And finally, if we go to the next slide. Overall, recapping, I think FY24 was a landmark year in terms of growth. Our EBITDA was up at about 2,185 crores, and our strong operating performance has led to credit rating improvements for the company across all our subsidiaries, as well as the corporate entity, which is Phoenix Mills. Phoenix Mills today is a AA rated company, and most of our subsidiaries are rated in A category. Further, while we have generated strong operating cash flows, we have also been very prudent as far as debt levels are concerned. Our net debt portion today stands at only about 2,157 crores, which is commendable given that our overall net debt levels are less than 1 time of the full year EBITDA that we generated last year. With strong performance across all our segments, we continue to operate with financial prudence and focus on optimizing debt levels, and are well poised to capitalize on the growth opportunities, which we will elaborate further on in upcoming segments. I would now like to hand it back to Gautam to take us through the rest of the exciting session for today.
Thank you, Varun. That was lovely to hear that we're going from strength to strength. Our profits are going up and our debts are going down. So I think that's a big story for us, that we're doing well. We have money, debts are going down, and we're making profits. And we also have a lot of growth still to come through. And the section which I missed earlier, I think I would like to welcome Kailash Gupta, who had joined us as Group CFO. So welcome, Kailash. So welcome to the Phoenix family. And I'd also like to re-welcome Mahesh Iyer, who joined us. This is his 3rd stint with the company. So thank you, Mahesh, for joining us back again. And we welcome you. He joined us as the President, Special Initiatives and Business Finance. Having said that, I'd like to move to the next section, which is a new exciting section which we put together for this time. Last time we had committed to having our leaders in conversations, informal conversations about the journey in the company. So we are the first one coming up now, so enjoy it. And this will play for about 10 to 12 minutes. So we can start playing that now, Shefali.
Check. Can you hear me? Is this good?
Hi, good morning everyone.
Good morning.
Hey everyone, thank you for being here with us today. I'm super excited to be speaking with three dynamic leaders of the Phoenix family. Our first guest today is a true powerhouse in the mall business. She's a veteran with several years of experience and a very deep understanding of what we do here at Phoenix. Please give a very warm welcome to the COO of Phoenix's mall business, Mrs. Rashmi Sen. And joining us today is another guest who's a Phoenix veteran. Do not let his calm demeanor fool you. It's a deceptive facade which sways the toughest of courtrooms. A very warm welcome to our General Counsel, Mr. Vidyasagar. And our final guest today is a true titan of the luxury hotel business. He spent more than 2 decades in the business, has worked with some of the most prestigious luxury hotels in the country. Please give a very warm welcome to Mr. Varun Chibbar, the General Manager of the St. Regis Mumbai, who has really taken this hotel to an exceptional level. So we're going to ask our guests some questions about their time and experience in the business and at Phoenix. We will start with Rashmi. So over these years, Rashmi, you've seen the development of several malls, old and new. Can you share some memorable experience that stands out in your mind?
Sure. There would be several memorable experiences over this last 14-15 year journey. I think one that significantly stands out, and I've shared this example also a couple of times before. Way back in 2010, when I had joined Phoenix, I remember we were in the office of a reputed group level brand, and the malls, the Phoenix Market City malls, had not opened by then, and we were leasing on paper, leasing on plans at that point in time. And their entire management team was present there, and I remember the gentleman who was the head of the team saying that Rashmi, India is not ready for a 1 million square feet, and you guys are way ahead of time. This is not going to work. And that day and today we are running 13 million square feet successfully, and not just the ability to be able to lease 1 million square feet with great ease in today's time. Phoenix Palladium is now moving to being a 2 million square feet center, and we still have a long wait list of brands that we are not able to accommodate in the 2 million square feet. So that speaks volumes of how Phoenix has pioneered in creating the large scale shopping centers in India, and I think the journey continues forward and onward.
Very, very pertinent, Rashmi, and it's so amazing that we keep setting new benchmarks which the world feels that you're not ready for yet, and then it just gets absorbed and people look forward to so much more. My next question is to Vidyasagar. So Vidya, as General Counsel, you have given so many pieces of advice to all the business heads and your juniors. What's the most significant or memorable advice that you may have received from your mentor?
A very tough question to answer because Atul Ria is my mentor. He's taught me so much, he's given me so much of advice. 2 things stand out actually. The first is he taught me how to evaluate a contract. He said, always remember our business objectives should be at the forefront. Never let the legal compulsions drive the thought process. And from that learning to this day, I practice that every day. When I negotiate a contract, I always try to achieve the business intent and then build suitable legal protections, not the other way around. This has been a great and incisive insight he has given me.
I'll move to you, Varun. Again, thank you for being here today. So Varun, you've been part of the hotel industry for 2 decades now?
Yes, a little more.
Little more than 2 decades, you don't look it.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you. You're always kind.
So what's the one aspect in the hospitality business that you feel is so essential but most often neglected?
I think deeply about this, Shishir, and I talk a lot about this to my team, and this has to be the lifetime value of a guest. What it means is that, someone who walks into your hotel to first time try a cup of coffee could eventually in his or her lifetime end up spending millions of dollars in your hotel. If they like your hotel, including the coffee and the people, they will come back for meals, they will conduct conferences, they will get their children married, they will take vacations. But we never see the lifetime value of a guest. We see the guest as a coffee guest. And I think most hotels don't see this. This has to be a singular, biggest miss, I think, in hotel business.
So true. Over the years, we've seen how at the St. Regis, we have tried to, make loyalists and actually make our guests our ambassadors who keep coming back because they find the St. Regis to be their second home.
Yes, and they promote us without being paid.
Absolutely. That's so important for actually all our businesses,
Yes.
I would say. Vidya, you deal with complex legal matters on a daily basis. Can you perhaps share an example of any particular challenging matter that you may have dealt with?
I think it has got to be the litigation against Entertainment World that we fought many years back. If you remember, we were a 40% equity stakeholder and we had advanced a loan of 100 crores plus to Entertainment World. Their mall didn't do well. They sold their mall to a foreign investor and they didn't repay our loan. So a recovery suit would have taken us nowhere in India. We had to find a way of bringing them to the table to talk settlement. And we realized the only way to do that was to get their mall business frozen. We fought them in the High Court and the judge ruled in our favor and he said freeze their leasing. Once their leasing was frozen, they ran helter-skelter to got their Supreme Court counsels involved. For 1 year, they tried, they couldn't get the freeze lifted. Finally, they came to the table and settled.
Varun, back to you with another question. What's the most unique or unusual request that you may have received from a guest during your entire career? You don't have to keep it a PG-13 answer. You
Okay.
can feel free to share and expose it all.
So, Shishir, when I was younger, I was looking after F&B of a very busy hotel. And we had the royalty of Qatar staying with us. And they loved our burger. And it was a very simple request that I love it so much that I would like this burger to be delivered to my brother tomorrow in Doha.
Wow.
And I was with a smaller company then. We didn't have a hotel in Doha or connects in Doha. So we got the recipe accurately checked, connected with the Ritz-Carlton Hotel in Doha. Today I work for Marriott, so it's a sister hotel. And via their chef and our chef getting it right to the T, recreated the same burger there and got it delivered piping hot. So this was one thing that sounds very simple, but it needed a cross-brand collaboration to achieve it for someone who was special to us.
Rashmi, coming back to you, what accomplishments are you most proud of during your time here?
There would be several accomplishments that I would be proud of over this last 14-15 years. The first one, undoubtedly, I would say, is the fabulous teams that we have created in Phoenix. We are very fortunate today that we have several people who've been with the company over the last decade or more at leadership levels, at functional levels, at mall level, at corporate level. And I think all of them are so passionate about the company, their love for the company, and truly, I think it's all of this coming together that is resulting in the growth that our company is seeing today. Like there's a popular saying that coming together is only a beginning, but it's working together that leads to the success. And I think truly it's, our A class employees of Phoenix that are instrumental in driving the growth and success of the company that we are seeing today. And I think it's a proud accomplishment for me at a personal level, because this is something that I have been working on over the last 15 years, when we are trying to hire talent, when we are trying to retain people, when we are trying to give growth and further development to our internal people. So I think there has been a dedicated effort from you, from Atul, from the rest of us, from all of us, that has actually resulted in what we see today in our teams.
I remember all these days. I remember the time when we had to cancel and redo Chennai leasing.
Yes.
You've been through a grind for sure, but truly amazing achievements. And more on the people front, I think as a company in the last decade, we have focused on grooming talent to take on more responsibilities, get elevated, promoting from within the organization. And you're right, I think we all are very, I would say, happy and with the way our people have grown and the responsibilities they've taken. Surely this is, fueling us into the future.
Yes, absolutely.
We now move to the rapid fire section, and we will start with the lady in the room. Rashmi, are you all set?
Yes, I'm set.
Do you have a favorite mall?
Certainly, Phoenix Mills Ltd.
What does Phoenix have that other malls don't?
I think passion, the passion with which all the employees run their respective work.
How would you describe Vidyasagar in one word or one line?
I think that's a simple one. I would say a strategist, a solver, because I always go to Vidya for a solution and he always has a strategy and a solution for me.
Vidya, you're next. Tough ones for you. A decision that changed your life.
I gained a HR department to land an interview call with Phoenix.
Oh, I did not know that. Would you rather negotiate a contract or litigate?
Tempted to litigate, but I would say negotiate the contract.
One thing that you miss about your 20s?
Riding late night on a fast motorbike.
With your hair in the wind?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Why don't we come to you? Name one celebrity that you would love to welcome at the St. Regis Hotel, and why?
This is world's best business hotel. I love to have Warren Buffett come and stay a week here.
What's your guilty pleasure when it comes to food or beverage?
Some food at Sahib Room, cooked by Chef Taj, and my occasional visit to Mahesh Lunch Hall.
Oh, nice. I love Mahesh Lunch Hall. Varun, if you woke up as Rashmi Sen, what would you do?
This is something I haven't done for many years, because there hasn't been a need. I'll be looking for a hairdryer.
Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today. Thank you, Rashmi. Thank you, Varun. Thank you, Vidya, for making this such a pleasurable experience. And I'm sure our team members will enjoy it.
Thank you, Shishir, for this wonderful conversation with all of us. It's been lovely. And now we all head out with Varun for a glass of champagne.
Yes, to be signed by Gautam.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you. We could not go for a wine, but I think we'll go one day. But thank you very much, Shishir. You were an amazing host, and I think really a wow session. Rashmi, Varun, who's not here today, he's in Singapore for a training session, and Vidya, I think all of you are very amazing. And I'm sure that our employees would be very happy to see the other side of you and how your journey has been over the last 13, 14, 15, maybe 20 plus years, right? I think there's so many stories to be told, and I think we all learn through stories, and stories resonate with us. So thank you very much. I think this was an amazing segment, something which we committed to last town hall, and we'll see more of it coming also our way. So having said that, I will hand over to Shishir for Phoenix growth and road ahead. So over to you, Shishir.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Gautam. I'm going to request Atul to also participate and perhaps, feel free to share a few words as we go through the following slides, Atul. And thank you all again for joining us. Shefali, can we move forward? So a quick view into our journey. Some 18 years ago, when we began our expansion outside of our flagship property, this is where we stood in 2006. We had little less than 500,000 square feet, little less than 5 lakh square feet of gross leasable area. Our operating free cash flow in 2006 was just about 21 crore. And we've certainly come a long way since then when we look at, an EBITDA growth of almost 100x in this period of time, with so many new assets being added. Next. Shefali. So again, just to illustrate how the company has grown, we were approximately 5 lakh square feet in 2006, 2007. We added a lot of land parcels in the period of 2005 through 2008. All of these malls under the brand name of Phoenix Market City and Phoenix United were launched in the period of 2011 and 2013 in cities of Mumbai, Pune, Bangalore, Chennai, Lucknow, and Bareilly. In 2018, of course, we launched Phoenix Palladium Chennai. And today we boast of about 11 million square feet of operational retail space with the additions of the new malls, which Varun mentioned in the earlier section, between 2022 and 2023. We have about 3 million square feet more under development, which will take up our mall portfolio to about 14 million square feet. And this excludes the recent land acquisitions in Thane and Bangalore, adjacent to our Phoenix Market City. Next. Today, as a company, we are uniquely positioned as one of the best mixed-use developers with 11 million square feet of retail space operational, 3 million square feet under development. We have also developed some iconic residential and hospitality projects, which we are proud of. These include Kesaku and One Bangalore West in Bangalore. And of course, the best address, the St. Regis Hotel in Mumbai. As we look into the future, we aspire to widen our reach to more and more consumption centers and solidify our footprint across the geography. Next. With a strong retail presence across 12 malls in the country, we currently own and operate India's largest mall portfolio. I'll take you through some of the assets that we have launched in the last year. Next. Many of you may be familiar with and have visited Phoenix Palacio, Lucknow. This is the only mall delivered during the pandemic anywhere in the world. It was slated to launch in March 2020, and finally we did launch it in the middle of COVID in July 2020. The next asset that came up online was Phoenix Citadel Indore, launched in December 2022. Again, the retail destination of MP, and with fabulous interiors inspired from the streets of Italy. We then move on to our foray into Gujarat with Palladium Ahmedabad. I think it's possibly the only luxury mall in the state, and we launched this in February 2023. Phoenix Mall of the Millennium at Pune is our second city center destination in Pune, which commenced operations in September of last year. And then, of course, last but not the least, Phoenix Mall of Asia Hebbal, Bangalore, which launched in 2023 October, which is again our second city center development in Bangalore. This brings me to the next slide, where today we have built a strong retail portfolio, as mentioned, of 14 million square feet, including the 3 million under development. Our retail portfolio is complemented with an expanding commercial office presence with 300,000 square feet in 2006, growing to about 7 million square feet. We have 4 million under development, and a growing hospitality portfolio where we ventured with the launch of the St. Regis in Mumbai in 2013 under a different brand, now growing to 3 hotels, of which the Grand Hyatt in Bangalore is under development. We've set up realistic goals, dedicated teams, strong execution, and consistent efforts, which have led us to where we stand today. Next. We've become a true proxy to the Indian discretionary spend over the years with growth through expansion of consumption in our existing malls and the addition of new malls. We've been consolidating our fair share of consumption throughout the country and are at a point where we are beating the curve of the GDP growth of India. This share in consumption makes us a valuable and indispensable partner for our retail brand partners. Next. While we skillfully created iconic destinations across the geography over the last 2 decades, it's not been an easy path. Despite facing skepticism and doubt regarding our focus on retail malls in the earlier years, we've navigated through the challenges such as the global financial crisis, the rise of e-commerce, and most recently, the impact of the COVID pandemic. Atul's guidance to us through these testing times was simple: keep your head down, ignore the noise, and focus on what we can control. That's exactly what we did, and we emerged stronger than before. We continue to focus on operating profits, and that has translated to an EBITDA growth, compounded growth of about 28% over the last 18 years. Next. Moving on to the assets under development and our next phase of growth. The launch of Phoenix Grand Victoria, Kolkata will mark our entry into West Bengal, and we hope to have this asset operational in about 24 months. Next. We are building our second retail city center destination in Gujarat, in the city of Surat, which is under development. We are also expanding our office footprint. We continue to integrate our retail assets with commercial office assets, and this helps in creating these iconic destinations. Our destination of the future goes well beyond the retail mall itself and is a high energy consumption center through the day with modern offices built within the same development, housing some of the best businesses in the work. And of course, during the evenings, all of this congregates into becoming the best leisure and entertainment destination. Moving on. So while we've been busy making these grand new assets, we've not lost sight of our existing ones, and we continue to reinvest in them by adding new spaces and reinventing the experiences. Our flagship property in Mumbai, Phoenix Palladium, here we plan to add another 250,000 square feet of retail in the coming months, which is opposite PVR, which will launch later this calendar year. Next, we will also be densifying this asset with a grade A commercial office building of 1.1 million square feet, which is shown on the right, which is Rise, plus additional retail space of a little over 200,000 square feet. Next. This is one of the images of what the Rise development, the city's most iconic office and retail development, will look like. Next. At Phoenix Market City, Bangalore, we are currently adding about 1.1 million square feet of offices. In the first phase, this will be about 400,000 square feet. And we will be expanding the retail portion by another 400,000 square feet and adding a 400-room Grand Hyatt hotel. Next. So taking our learnings and experience across luxury to residential, we plan to create a premium upscale luxury destination at Alipur in Kolkata. This is about 3 kilometers away from Phoenix Grand Victoria, which is the other mall that we earlier showed you. Next. Our launch pipeline for 2027 is secured, and we are now looking at what's beyond 2027. We have our sights set on acquiring land parcels across these emerging cities, what we like to call tier 1 opportunities, which will fuel the next phase of growth. We acquired the land parcel in Thane in November. Next, please. We acquired a land parcel in Thane in November 23. This is 11.5 acres. Currently, the teams are working on the design and development mix for this asset. It has the potential of becoming a large mixed-use destination of over 3 million square feet. And that, in a sense, has been the remarkable journey that your company, the Phoenix Mills Ltd, has seen over the last almost 2 decades. At this point, I'd like to take a moment and thank our dedicated and incredible team members for their remarkable support. We stand here together, stronger and more prepared than ever for the next phase of growth. Thank you. Atul, would you like to add anything to this?
Not really, but I think one thing that's very exciting is these 2 projects, in particular, Lower Parel and Bangalore, where we are able to now take these centers from what they were to the future, which is almost 3.5 million square feet in each case. In Bangalore also, we are able to expand that mall from 900,000 to closer to 2 million and add 1.5 million of office and 500,000 of hotel. So both Bangalore and Lower Parel will become humongous 4.5-5 million square feet campuses. So I think they really set a benchmark for our mixed-use developments. And Thane also likewise will be a substantial development. So I think our journey is towards these kind of developments. We also see this in Millennium, which is a 2.7 million square feet leasable area, 4 million square feet of constructed area. And so these new huge assets, I think, are the direction we want to go down.
Thank you, Atul. Thank you, Shishir, for the wonderful news about our growth and what lies ahead for us. I think it's actually wonderful to know, and for our employees to know that how we are growing across all lines of business, right? Hotels we are growing, mall we are growing, commercial, F&B, everywhere we are growing, which is a good growth story for us to have. So I think starting next section is about, we have as I said earlier also, that we do believe in investing a lot in our talent. And that's one of the reasons why we have, I think, one of the highest average tenure across the industry, I would say. If I look at leadership level, I mean, at an average of 7 years plus, and we have people who are 20 plus years also in the organization. So we'll take a quick look at people who have who have served with us for more than 15 plus years and are given the time for us. So I think we have Vidya, who's there with us today. Has he joined in? I think, not sure, but we want to spend some time in case any of you, Atul, Shishir, Varun, Rajesh, Rashmi, if you have anything to talk about any of your employees and your story, that will be wonderful to hear from you. Like Santosh Dalvi, Samar, Sunil Nair from my team, IT has been with us for the last 16 years. Sunil Patil, junior engineer from Phoenix Palladium. Joseph from procurement. So in case anybody would like to talk about any one of them, basis your stories, you can do that. and stop me wherever you want me to stop. Sanjay Vagaskar, who's with us in Bangalore projects, been with us for the last 17 years and has grown with the company. He's worked both in Mumbai as well as Bangalore now. So moving forward, Rajesh Kulkarni, Group Director Project Delivery, 18 years with us. He's built all the beautiful assets which you see today. And also people who have done 20 plus years. So I think Pramod Iravati from leasing and retail, he's done 20 plus years with us. So I think well done. Shrikant from Lizen, again 23 years. Ravi Rai from Purchase, Lower Parel, and obviously Shishir. I think wonderful to see that you've done your silver jubilee with us now, 25 years. You spent more time with the company. And we have a few more. Ranjan Pandey, like 38 years with us. Well done, Ranjay. Good to have you on board. And Prabhu Dayal, obviously, we know from last time also, 35 long years with us. I think he has served multiple generations. So I think well done. I think we see, I'm sure that after seeing this, you will also realize that we do have a lot of tenure. We couldn't name all the names because we also have people who are 10 to 15 years. We couldn't do that today. Maybe we'll do that. So we will do that next time. But it's wonderful to see such long-serving talent with us who has served the company for so long and seen the company grow. And as at some point in time, we also capture some of these stories also and make into anecdotes as they come out with our newsletters and all that. So I think wonderful to have you. Next section, the last section for us. I think you have sent us about 250 plus questions. We have shortlisted a few. I think some questions may have got answered through the presentation, through a growth story and financial highlights. So I welcome Raghav, who's going to be a quiz master, and he's going to ask some difficult questions to our panelists. So Raghav, over to you.
Thank you, Gautam. So since this town hall is the gathering is all about the Phoenix family, I'll kickstart the questions with some HR topics. The first question is for Gautam. How is the company addressing diversity and inclusion in the workplace? What initiatives, policies, and practices are we implementing to promote a diverse and inclusive work environment?
Thanks, Raghav. So you picked the first person who asked you to come on board. All right. I think diversity is going to play a key role for us. I think we're already playing a key role. Maybe we're not talking about it starting a bit too much, but today, if I look at across the company, that we are about close to, in case I discount F&B for the moment, in that case, we're about 19% diversity across the company today. And we are growing stronger and stronger as we move along. I mean, last year we were slightly lesser. We were about 17%. Today we are 19%. That means we have added more female employees into our fold. Second is also about not only about diversity and gender, it's also about inclusion. And I think in inclusion also that we have specially abled employees. Ishara, thanks to Prashant, who actually runs a wonderful brand for us. We opened 2 restaurants in the last 6 months in Bangalore and Pune. So about 8 to 10% of Bellona population employees are actually specially abled, which also, in case you look at across the company, we're about 4% are actually specially abled employees today. So it's both from diversity, inclusion, we are doing that. What we're doing about it to make sure that it gets into a part of our DNA is that we have set up a new vertical within the HR fold called a diversity inclusion. So we have Shafali who leads that for us. A special focus, I think our recruitment practices have to start talking about getting the right set of CVs to have a good mix. Second is that we need to have policies around how do we enable our female employees to stay with us for a longer time and have certain policy which will support, enable them, especially when they come back from the family way. It's very important that we provide them an ecosystem which actually does that for us. So I think we have some clear guidelines, metrics, processes. I think you will get to see more of it, but I think we are very, very focused, committed to work on this part of the agenda.
Got it. Thank you so much. So I'm going to mix it up. I'll now move to commercial. The next question is for Hardeep. With the upcoming Rise building in Bombay, Asia Towers, and commercial building in Chennai slated to go live very soon, what is our vision while we plan these world-class centers? Perhaps if you could throw some light on key focus areas, maybe on design, sustainability, building a vibrant community. And there's a second part as well. What's our plan to attract top clients for these centers?
Thanks, Raghav. Okay, in terms of, I think the guidance is clear in when we look at our assets in terms of how we want to position them. Atul's guidance that we are creators of the best luxurious public spaces in the country. I think that one line kind of defines the mindset with which we build or how we plan and how we want to position. So whether it is the amenities, the breakout areas, the lounges, the gym, the cafes, the whole experience on the amenity spaces that is being planned and being created in all these assets is I cannot recall any other asset of nature of from commercial office spaces which will I think competes with what we have planned for all of these assets in terms of positioning and in how it and then obviously it will come out. I think any client who visits these with the when these are implemented and they're finished avatar, it'll be difficult for him to say no to having an office there. I think and the infrastructure that we have in terms of our composite assets as mixed use with the whole focus on employees from most companies work and leisure and play, you know, and then our malls, because we are blended with the malls, we offer so many amenities which is difficult for anybody else to compete with. So that is on the experience. Just from the time you enter the asset and the lobbies, you know, you just it just overwhelms you with the quality and the finishes and what we do in these assets. On the sustainability part, I think the LEED Platinum and Gold certifications and the WELL certification that we are now aspiring to get inside to solar power that we are doing, the green energy and you know the green power in our assets down south, and you know we also try to do the same for Mumbai and other assets. Stability of operation that we create in terms of redundancy of our infrastructure for MEP services. So and also the kind of assurances that we are giving in our built asset environment in terms of their comfort and security and built operations, stability of operations. That I think are some of the features that you know are very key and important for most tenants, and then we are addressing all of those. In terms of tenant engagement, and the second part of your question is on the kind of engagement activities we do. We have a set calendar for all our existing and new assets in terms of what kind of activities we do, how we engage with the leadership as well as their employees by events that we do, whether it's a musical event, whether it's a games event, whether it's you know competitive events like we had in Kurla recently, the table tennis event, and we have a bowling event, and then we have all these. You know, the mall has their own calendar, and we send special invites to the CXO levels and their families. So our engagement with our occupiers is very high. So we basically go out and take that extra care to make sure that you know that we have constant engagement. We you know and we basically address the kind of experience that most of these tenants want to give to their employees. And obviously, you know, the kind of product that we get is from Rajesh Kulkarni, Sachin Parkar, Pallavi, and all of them is, I think it's just mind-boggling. It is something else.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
yeah.
Yeah, that sounds very interesting. Thank you. Thank you so much for that, Adib. I'll move on to a different question now. This is for Atul and Shishir. We have seen through the presentation that we have grown from strength to strength over the last year and have done so consistently over the past several years. What do you perceive as the biggest challenges our company is currently facing? In response to these challenges, do we have a plan to diversify or explore any new business opportunities?
Atul, would you like to take that?
No, please go ahead, Shishir.
I think I would actually say that there are maybe three challenges in today's environment for us. One is, of course, we are seeing competition scaling up in the cities where we are present in the retail space. We become, you know, our people are considered to be perhaps the best in the business. So there is that, obviously, that threat of being poached from. So I think people, keeping them happy, motivated, focused, goal driven, that's clearly one of our challenges. The competition coming next door to us presents challenges on the business side, on the revenue side, on the brand mix side as well. We we are seeing part two to the answer is we are seeing a rapid growth in our own portfolio in the office space. One of the key challenges there that we have observed is clearly, leasing has not translated into what we would have desired. I think we have to address how we uniquely position our assets and not get clubbed with the other ITES parks as such, but uniquely position our assets as the premium real estate spaces in those cities, commanding premium rental and deserving of the best of the client's front office operations. So in terms of diversification, I would like to add that we have tested or we've piloted a project or two in the warehousing space. We do realize that warehousing is it's not a business that's doing really well today, and we are seeing that across the country. The returns are limited. For the moment, moving to the second part of your question, Raghav, for the moment, our focus continues to be areas where we believe we have the best skill sets, which is retail, expanding the office spaces, building more hotels, and clearly taking the residential business to the next level with our development in Kolkata and being opportunistic in that space as well.
And you might add a little bit about Bellona as well, or I could. So with Bellona also, we continue to expand. I think in our F&B business, we are at 40 restaurants. I think we should open another 50 or 100 outlets in a fairly short time frame.
Got it. Thank you. Since we're on Bellona, moving to some F&B related questions. Prashant, I'm personally a big fan of it. I believe the food is comparable with the best Asian restaurants we have in India. Can you share how at Bellona do we maintain consistency with daily sales and food quality despite rising labor, wage bills, and raw material prices?
Thank you, Raghav. Yeah, so what we are doing now, I was just calculating the other day. From January to May, on an average, we opened a new restaurant every 9 days. And that was a steep growth trajectory. We were very clear that once we have done that, we will be reviewing and reevaluating and realigning all of our businesses, putting in best practices. What we've done to ensure quality and daily sales. So let's take quality first, because that drives sales as well. Over there, what we've tried to do is we've built in various levels. So for example, for food, there are department chefs, there are outlet chefs, there are brand chefs, there are managers of each outlet, there are managers in each mall, and there are certain brand heads as well. We are also now associating with certain subject matter experts from the outside. So there is no conflict of interest for them to help us with global trends and what to expect in the coming months and years. So that's with regards to quality. With regards to daily sales, we are very, very conscious and aware of customer acquisition. We are building a digital platform so that our customers can be directed, they can be contained. A very interesting point that Varun had mentioned about a lifetime customer value. I think that's a great insight I've got from this conversation, this Townhall, and we will look at that very, very seriously as well. So at different levels and at different places, we are trying to build this infrastructure of organizational structure as well, which Atul is helping us with, Snehal is helping us with. So it's all happening now.
Got it. Thank you so much, Prashant.
My pleasure.
Since we're running out of time, one final question. That's to Rajesh and Rashmi. We have an interesting one. How much of a role does architecture and design play in our shopping malls that influence consumer behavior and consumption? Some insights on that would be great. Rajesh, you're on mute.
You're on mute, Rajesh.
Hi, hello everyone. So I think it's all about the architecture, but what we focus on when we are designing is, a smooth, convenient customer circulation and visibility for the retailers. I think these two play an important role. And apart from that, it's become shopping is no longer just simple experience. The whole family comes and they want to engage in many more activities. So we have event spaces, selfie points. F&B is a very, very important aspect. So basically creating spaces which can, the customer can relate with. They find some space very attractive, and then they'll, connect with it and want to come again. Then, of course, we have events, so we could create spaces for that. And of course, finally, we have to adhere to the business requirement and the leasing requirement of ensuring that we have the right mix of anchor space, small, mid-size retail units, and F&Bs and entertainment. So I think with our experience, we all work together and with direction from, of course, Atul, Rashmi, it evolves.
Just a quick one, Rashmi, is the second part to the same question is, how are we balancing presence of luxury brands and mass market retailers within our malls to maintain an optimal mix?
I think Phoenix Palladium here is a perfect example, Raghav, where you have luxury and I don't think we really have mass brands, but you can say luxury to somewhat premium brands, and it's a good balance. In fact, I think one of the core things that we do right from a planning stage, right from the time we acquire the land and we start planning, I think tenant mix is a core DNA of Phoenix, and we continue to do it every single day. I mean, in fact, you would see like that for some of the malls like Phoenix Market City, Mumbai, and Palladium, we've seen a lot of brand changes over the last 2 years. And I think the overall churn and the introduction of new brands has been immense. And so I think this is an ongoing process where the teams have actually a lot of experience currently. There's constant benchmarking with international trends. There are newer brands that are coming. I mean, the timing is perfect for us because I think the way the newer international brands are entering India and the number of larger brands already prevalent in India, the way they are expanding. So I think it's a mixture of all this, which you put it all together and then you apply your mind in terms of what is the right strategy to go forward, in terms of the right balance between luxury and premium and, sort of not so mass brands, but entry level to premium.
Got it. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ashmi. Gautam, over to you.
Great. Thanks, Raghav. And thanks everyone for being on this show today, I would say. I think, and as we conclude a second edition of Town Hall, I also want to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all our employees who have joined us today. I think you are a strength. You make the brand come alive. What we're able to do is because of you. And you are the biggest assets we have today. And also a big thank you to all the panelists who are here: Atul, Shishir, Varun, Rashmi, Prashant, Hardeep, Rajesh. Thank you for being here with us today. It was lovely to hear your insights. It was lovely to hear your presentations. Lovely to hear what is happening in the company, how well we're doing financially, how well are we doing in terms of our debts, how and what is the plan over the next 4 to 5 years. We are quite aggressive in a growth plan. And I think with Atul's vision and guidance, we will reach there definitely. And we have a good capable team which will take us till there. And also to all of you, because for your active participation, I think we had more than 1,000, I was seeing 1,100 plus logins, and I'm sure there are more employees who are logged in because a lot of you have joined in groups. So thank you very much for being there. We do have a town hall mail ID. If there's, I think some question were not answered, but if you want to drop in any of your comments or questions on the town hall mail ID, which you would have got, I think we'll be able to respond on those questions. Until then, I think we'll meet again. We will meet again next 6 months. We'll be back in December most likely, and with more fireside chats. So I hope you had a good time. I wish you all the best. Good evening, and have a good weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.